casters and streamers.
Yeah, sorry, Ninja just wasn't in the channel and he's rejoined us now.
Yeah, okay, so he moved to Left 4 Dead 2, but I believe we are indeed live now, so that means hello, good morning, good evening, and or anywhere afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from, and we are here for one hell of a Grand Finals cast of the Equilibrium Cup number 3, hosted by Dragon, who will be co-casting me here today, and it's going to be one heck of a game between Teams OFU and Team NV, and co-casting me here today, as I said, is Mr. Dragon. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Feeling very refreshed. Obviously, it's a better time of the day for me, but I mean, props to you, Rails, and Ninja as well, for staying up in the early hours in the morning over the stays to do this. Can't thank you enough for both for that.
It's no problem. It's currently 7:22 in the morning where I am, and I believe that means it's 4:22 in the morning where Ninja is. So Ninja is coming in with his stream, obviously, and as I said in the fake intro that I did because Ninja was in a different channel, we have about 9 or 10 different streamers and/or casters covering this game. Honestly, Dragon, I think this might be the most covered game I have ever witnessed. I know it's definitely the most I've ever been a part of, but this is ridiculous.
Definitely. We've got 4 different streams going on, just for your information. To the viewers, we've got obviously ourselves here with Rails, Ninja, and myself. Deck is providing a stream of his own, which is also in English, with Australian shoutcasters. We've got a Chinese stream and a Japanese stream as well. So we're getting a very a wide sense of coverage here for this grand final. It's absolutely amazing. This is just goes to show you actually how well received it is in the Asian community for competitive Left 4 Dead 2. I mean, you don't really ever see it that much because of how, well, usually there's some degree of segregation between the communities. But I mean, because I never get to see much of the Asian community, I mean, seeing it turn out this way is actually pretty impressive, I have to admit.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and we're looking at actually everyone start to ready up now, and as I did mention, this Grand Finals it was an international cup. We had, I'd say, contenders from North America, the European scene definitely, strong showing obviously from the Asian scene because both the contenders in these Grand Finals are from the Asian region. We have Team Envy from Japan and Team OFU representing Korea, and the winner of this will then be crowned the champion of the Equilibrium Cup number 3. Envy trying to defend the title actually from Equilibrium Cup number 2. So if they manage to win here, then they will have won both the past 2 Equilibrium Cups. I think that's insane, Dragon, to have one team going to win both games potentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's quite an impressive record, and it's just a testament to how strong and dominant Envy are in terms of international competition. You know, they've always kept on top of their game, and it's not often that you come across teams who maintain their consistency at such a high level. I mean, when you think about that, I mean, the teams that spring to my mind, especially in the past, I mean, of course, in the States, you had teams like Area 51 and Royalty were pretty impressive with their dominance as well, even if it was only for a brief period of time. And of course with teams like over in Europe, such as QN and Tanksmiths, who were there at the very beginning of Left 4 Dead 2, and then of course Router Pixies, sort of ruled in the second, third generation after that.
Yeah, definitely the Router Pixies. I remember them. I remember watching them as being the first competitive team in the history of Left 4 Dead 2 that I ever watched. But all that being said, we are actually about to go live here, and as soon as Yuri raised up for Team OFU, we will get this finals underway. And I actually almost cut myself off there because I said the Dark Finals, because this is going to be played on the Dark Parish, which is obviously a custom campaign here. Fitting, I did not know it was actually going to be played on Dark Parish until approximately 14 minutes before the match started, so that's good. And I am extremely excited to see it played out here. Very nice map for the Grand Finals. Good choice, Dragon.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was some sort of concerns about choice of campaign and such, and I didn't want to do the same thing as EQ Cup number 2 because I was mostly just going out there and experimenting. This, on the other hand, it's a custom campaign, but it's also a trusted and well-known campaign in a sense, because it's both stock and custom, so it's a nice kind of hybrid thing. But I honestly love this campaign. I've not seen it in ages, but now we're going to see it now as we're going live.
Indeed, and we are live for the Equilibrium Cup number 3 Grand Finals, and right now, let's do a roster rundown. I will take Team OFU, you can take Team Envy. So for Team OFU on the Survivor side of things, we have Jukebox, Jiri, Arya, and Mop.
For Envy, we have Machina, Hansuki, Flyby, and Suikanve, which is Kimchi, of course. So it's an all-Japanese lineup versus an all-Korean lineup. This is going to be fascinating to watch.
This is going to be absolutely great. And as I did mention, we are going to have Team OFU coming out on the Survivor side of things right now with Team MV on Special Infected. Hunter, Smoker, Charger, Boomer for the first hit. Hunter is already spawned up on the right roof there, getting ready to pounce in, distracting the survivors. And the Hunter is going to go in. They're actually going to try for a death perk. We see a pull going out here right now. A 2-cap does land. The smoke tongue was a little bit off there. That could have been even more damage, but a nice hit coming out from NV.
But I think the Boomer's up by the alarm car, and they're just going to run past. This is an interesting tactic.
Nick gets boomed and they just completely barrel past it there, not popping that Boomer. Moving along, we're going to be seeing our tank at 69%. We do not have any worms. In fact, this is for two reasons. One, this is an English cast, and both the teams wouldn't be speaking English for one. And then two, one of the teams is using TeamSpeak, and the other one is going to be using Skype. So we actually have this tank coming up for Team NV right now into the hands of Hansuki. Interesting question, Dragon. Are maps 1 through 4 played or 1 through 5 here on this campaign?
It's going to be a 1 to 5 affair.
1 to 5? Oh yeah. My goodness.
They're triggering the witch and they get the remote crown. They deal with her as the tank is up. If they fail that, it's going to be risky.
Exactly, but Jukebox deciding to go out there and take that witch. Tank has actually gotten a dumpster down the alley here to block that off, it seems, and now is actually climbing back to the roof. The hit for NV is going to be a Charger Hunter Smoker going right now.
Coming in.
Charger gets a nice charge.
And a double cap. There's a Hunter and Smoker try going after Nick as well, but they do clear it.
Yeah, see, that's what I love about NV. The speed of their Special Infected is definitely on point. We have a Rock coming in there, not going to land from Hansuki, but he is on second pass now, Dragon.
He is, yeah, so he is going to have to go in at this point. Although the good thing that's available to OFU now is that because they've crowned that witch, they actually have the option of moving down the alley if they so choose. But because there's more SI ladders in Dark Parish, it means that both sides are now open without having to go to acrobatics or park.
Boomer's
nailed them.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now because the Boomer did fail. Tank gets a single punch out. Boomer jumps in, trolling Coach. Hunter lands. Charger coming in. Charger is going to miss his charge, but then the Charger's going to die. They're going to clear that Hunter off Alice with some damage going out, but Tank is now pushing in. Doesn't actually get the down. The punch got God framed there for a second, actually. Moving back now. Jumping around, punching Guri up the stairs here, moving backwards. This tank is now going back in, gets a nice punch on the Nick, but that's going to be the kill there. But you know what, Dragon? The tank actually blocked off the alley with a dumpster, so even though they killed that witch there, they wouldn't have been able to run all the way down there.
No, they wouldn't, but I mean, that tank got quite a few punches, but I mean, that was still a good effort. I mean, the Boomer failed, which helped significantly for the survivors' cause. But, yeah, I mean, none of them have actually been in-capped. They've still got all their permanent health, and that's actually a pretty good start for this first map. I think if you can get into the safe room without any in-caps, you're going on strong.
Definitely. Now we are going to have a Boomer spawning up here. Gets a nice double boom. Smoker gets the pull on the front. Charger going for the cover. Gets the cover. Nice 2-cap coming out here right now. Nice hit coming in from Team MV. And that right there, they still have all the damage bonus right here, but the health bonus has been knocked down to 27% off that Dragon.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the DB is only a small portion for this bonus, but the main thing is they can try and get in now. I mean, there's a Smoker up, there's a Hunter up as well as a Spacer. There's still one spawn that's waiting to go, and there's a Humvee on this final road section. There's an extra Humvee, an extra vehicle here, which I actually forgot about. It's been so long since I've seen this campaign.
Reloading.
Yeah, I mean, I actually never captured a match on this until now. Hunter goes in, gets killed. Then that Smoker getting cleared. That's going to be the car being set off, but the attack is down. So we are going to see Team OFU push the safe room here with still that 24% health bonus and 100% on that damage bonus. So a nice first chapter coming out by them, Dragon.
Yeah, and that's just what they need, to be honest. I mean, Envy, we know how formidable they are. We haven't seen much of OFU, obviously, in recent memory, because this is pretty much the first time we've seen them from an international stage. But, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it's just under 50%, like, maximum possible score, but that's strong going into this first map. And as we can see by the slight edits for it being Dark Parish, this is actually quite a tricky and challenging first map. Much more in comparison to, obviously, the stock version of Parish.
Yeah, I definitely agree here, and the differences that we saw already are going to have an effect on how the survivors play it. But if there's a team in the world right here who I would not want to deal with a Special Infected versus Survivor battle here with them playing Survivor, it's NV. Their Survivor has been so pinpoint. They are 5-0 in the North American hosted really big summer pro mod tournament here. And did they lose a match in EQ yet? I don't think they have.
No, I don't think they have either, to be honest. They've there might have been one or two occasions where they lost on sort of like away servers, I think. I mean, yeah, there was an occasion where I think it was non-stop where that happened, obviously, but with a huge ping disparity. But I mean, no, they've pretty much been undefeated overall.
Yeah,
I think that was the same. That was the same story in the previous cup as well.
That's crazy. I mean, technically they've never lost a conglomerate match or an aggregate match, I should say, in either of the past two Equilibrium. I'm trying to say this because it's such a stunning statistic. They haven't lost a single game in either of the past two Equilibrium Cups. They have only ever lost one match as a team, and that was against Nikeon's team in the Custom Campaign Tournament number 2. And I think they have like a record of 38-1 over, I think, 4 cups with 3 first-place finishes and 1 fourth-place finish. I think that statistic is correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of that, to be honest, is because... ready up first? Part of that is because they're actually an old-school team. I recognize a few of these names of these Japanese players from, like, years and years ago when they used to play, like, international sort of friendly scrims with Pixies. And, you know, they used to play pretty close games with them as well. It's always fascinating to watch. So, I mean, these players have practically stuck around for years, been playing together for all that time, pretty much narrowing everything down to fine detail, exactly how they play the game, how they think about it, how they approach it. And, you know, it's strange that people see this all of a sudden, but, you know, NV have been going at this for a very long time, and because of that, that shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and from the minute I started watching them here, the precision that they have on their Survivor side, look at how they clear out every single common before they walk out to take the first hit from OFU. It's going to be a Charger, Boomer, Smoker, Hunter going in for Team OFU. They're going to have a pull going in the back there, and then also a Hunter landing, so a nice 2-cap landing onto MD, plus a Tri-Boom Proxy there. So a little bit of damage coming out onto them on that first hit, Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't quite as much damage as NV did themselves, but... You know, they set the boomer in and got a tri-boom. They forgot, they started to neglect the car entirely and not bother with that, seeing as they dealt with it pretty well themselves. But yeah, I mean, the tank's going to be up in a second, and it's going to be interesting to see if NV try and swiftly deal with this switch as well, or if OFU will actually try and set up around it. But it looks like OFU wants to attack in this middle section here, which is the usual spot, both in EQ and in Pro Mod. But now we see SI coming from the left inside, the Boomer gets one, the Charger rains off, and Charger gets shot down as well. Spitter tried spitting, but couldn't really block or do anything much.
The tank actually is going to be up right now for Team OFU into the hands of Arya. They go for the Witch Crown, and they do indeed get it. Machina taking that crown, and now we are going to see this tank employing a similar strategy here, trying to knock this dumpster up top. And as a matter of fact, he's gotten a very interesting hit on that dumpster to the point where he has been lodged in between those two roofs. He's going to try to get it out of there now, because if he can get the hittable in, that'd be really, really good for Team OFU. Knocking it up, he has gotten it pretty close.
Oh, it's on the edge.
Oh, and now
he's got it in a nice spot. He's actually got it like in that alley, that sort of pavement section.
Yeah, MV has definitely spotted it now, and he's knocking more of these dumpsters in. As a matter of fact, he's got 2 into the pavement, as Dragon did mention. Hit for OFU is going to be a Boomer, a Smoker, and a Charger here. Smoker rocketing and spawn in there, not going to land. Now he's going to go towards that dumpster, gets picked off by Kimchi, and now we're going to see MV actually just play underneath here because they know they have a spawn down, Dragon.
Yeah, well, this tank is actually wanting to position himself on the balcony. They know he's there by checking out, and they've still got a Charger prung on the opposite roof. Of course, you never see SI being able to get up there, but because of what Dark Parish does, such an enabling aspect for the SI. And now the tank's coming in the other way. He's going to try and push him towards.
Oh!
And he gets a tri-boom!
Oh, that's going to be huge. Now we've got this tank going in here. He gets a single punch. Quad boom actually is that on the survivors. Charger misses, but he's going. Yeah, tank's actually missing punches right here. He's down to 1,500 health, but that Charger does land massive amounts of damage. But Coach is juking this tank out right now. Tank is not able to catch Flyby. Flyby got away, and now he keeps going. He jukes him out again. Flyby jumping up and down. Now he gets the punch on it, but Flyby just saves Team NV right there, Dragon. He juked that tank out.
Heroic as hell. Oh my god, like, that should have been like a wipe, I think. There was a quad boom going out. There were 3 other survivors trying to scramble over each other, trying to rescue each other from the support. And, I mean, it's not such a bad decision to go for the one survivor that's stranded on their own, but, like, Flyby teaching people how to juke and EQ and, you know, not give a fuck if the tank hasn't got slowdown. That's how you move in an Left 4 Dead 2. That's how you employ proper movement.
That was insane. And now, obviously, we are going to see another hit coming in here from Team OFU. Flyby baiting it out, moving back inside. It's a Smoker, Charger, Hunter, and a Boomer, but they have managed to get all the SI to free spawn, so they know exactly where they're coming from here. Boomer has not yet spawned, only one who has not. Looks like he wants to rocket in from the side here, but now they're actually going to shoot the car and elect to hold this out, I think, Dragon.
They might be doing that, or they might be trying to bait the attack and then rush as soon as it's clear.
Not entirely sure, but that Charger actually has moved out. Boomer gets popped. Smoker is staying by the car. It looks like the Charger wants to get a despawn, and indeed he has. So, either that, or but by holding out like this, actually, Envy is going to give them the spitter, I think, that they want.
Well, I mean, the bonus is actually pretty close. There's only about 86 difference right now, and the commons are actually pouring in from the back, I believe. Yeah, they're pouring from behind.
Interestingly enough, now they're going to be able to clear the rest of that horde in that room. Looks as though the commons have indeed stopped. That Smoker is chip set up on the car right now, 198 HP, so he's a little bit of an easier clear than usual. And Rochelle has actually moved to the back there, shooting a couple more shotgun shells in the direction of where that horde was coming from. Now they're going to focus their attention forward here because they know where the Smoker is, and this is something that Envy is particularly good at here, Dragon. That's doing a lot of this kind of baiting work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's a recurring theme with Asian teams in general. They prefer, like, the slow and cautious approach. They like to try and frustrate the SI into making a hasty decision that doesn't pan out for them at all. You know, I mean, that's pretty much very old sort of tactic that we've seen. But Coach gets pulled. Charge's going to try and get in. Hunter on Nick. There's a bit more damage on the board, but I don't know if it's a bit enough.
No, I think that's still going to give the advantage to Team MV by about 57 points going into the second chapter, and indeed it does. So actually it's going to be 56. Same story. So now, this is a very, very close match here, Dragon, but some of those who are watching might not be familiar enough with what the Equilibrium config does. How about you give us a rundown of the differences between EQ and ProMod for some of those who might be watching?
Okay, well, for starters, there's a hybrid bonus system, which means preserving your permanent health still matters, but because the system doesn't automatically decrease points for bleeding, it means that you have to... The only way you can decrease the survivor's bonus is by attacking. You can't just get them bleeding and then hope the bonus will lower out. You actually have to put in the effort here. You also have the Scout, which was originally the replacement for the hunting rifle. But it's been nerfed so that instead of T2 style spam, you have to like place your shots and place them well. You know, if you get a headshot, that's pretty much the job done. But you know, you have to be consistent with it as well. And it has more recoil than the L4D2 hunting rifle too. So you have to not only aim well, but be precise with your movement positioning. There's no tank slowdown, so you can't just gang up with SMGs and hope that the mechanic does all the work for you. You actually have to have superior positional awareness and know exactly where you're moving to at all times, so you don't get stranded on anything, and you always keep your distance and avoid giving away bonus. Those are more of like the major changes. There are also a couple of minor details, but that's pretty much the main thing.
Alright then, so there you have it. Those are the differences between Equilibrium and ProMod here from the two different configs. And actually, we're going to be seeing a 17% tank right here. Team Envy on the Survivor side of things, and Team OFU on Special Infected Dragon. This is going to get going pretty quickly in this chapter.
Yeah, I mean, Parish 1 obviously was a slight advantage to NB, but it's almost negligible, 50 points. I mean, there's still a long way to go in this match, and it's still anyone's game. No one's got the clear momentum at this point.
Exactly. So now we are going to see a Boomer, a Smoker, a Hunter, and a Spitter. So a 2-2 for Team OFU on this opening hit. Spitter wants to come from across the survivors here. We got the Boomer and the Hunter positioned on top of the safe house, and looks as though the Smoker wants to pull to the cop car out there, which has some nice flashing decal lights on top of it. That's a nice little touch there for Dark Parish. And here we go again, Dragon. We're going to see all the common being cleared out by Envy from the safe room.
Yeah, I mean, this is the slow, cautious approach that we're familiar with Asian teams, and of course, no one would do it better than NV. Flyby, I think, is just taking his sweet time. Sorry, that's Machina as his coach now. He's just taking his time now. The smoke is coming out, trying to get Coach. A Hunter lands on Coach to get the spin in as well. Boomer gets popped, though. Very minimal damage on the board. And NV is still carrying the momentum off the first attack, which is pretty good because it's pretty a dangerous area for survivors. It could easily eat up a lot of damage if they're not careful, but they did that. Now the tank is up in the hands of Jukebox.
And Envy here is actually going to be deciding to push this out. So we're going to see this tank, as you said, in the hands of Jukebox. They're going to try to play a rock tank here. Envy deciding to actually push out, and I'm seeing a couple of the changes between the Parish Vanilla version, if you so want to call it that, and the Dark Parish version here. This extra added hedge where SI can spawn. We actually have a Hunter pre-spawn, Jockey pre-spawned as well. Both going in to try to get a rock here. Boomer has no area to spawn. Now he does. Boomer gets a single boom out. Rock does land, but that's going to be a Rage Rock, so no damage there. But that was a nice way to actually start this tank. And can Alice be hitbox behind that?
I think he can be. Seems like he could.
I'm looking at, he took a little bit of damage from those common, but I do indeed believe he can be hitboxed. But right now, we do have Kimchi skiing those rocks, and now they're actually going to push the tank, getting some chip out onto Jukebox, who is down to 5,500 health now. Next hit is going to be coming up for Team OFU here. Hunter, Smoker, Boomer, more chip going out onto that tank. Trying to play it long here, still keeping sight, but the chip from MV is doing a little bit of work now. Wait and see where the SI want to come in from. Smoker spawns up Hunter as well. Boomer from behind hedge. Boomer gets a single boom going out there. Rock going for Rochelle, does get skeeted. Pull goes in. Boomer gets a reproxy onto the already boom survivor, and another rock should be coming in here relatively soon, and it misses Dragon.
Yeah, clipped against the hedge. Envy so far have got the slight momentum because, I mean, they've eaten a rock or two, but they've all been rage rocks basically. They haven't done any damage. So technically, nothing's really gone quite in favor of the tank just yet. Who's now on second pass.
It's on second pass, and this is always even in the regular version of Parish, this is a tough area to commit into here because those spawns are going to need to be on point. It's an open area where the survivors have a lot of space to juke. However, tank should have a little bit of assistance due to the fact there is no tank slowdown, and he is going in. Charger Smoker Jockey will be the support here for this tank for Jukebox. Going in, already down to about 3,000 health. Support coming up right now. Charger hit the double charge, then gets cleared. Yeah, that was very, very clutch right there. Whoever cleared that charger. Now we can see the Jockey trying to land, having absolutely no luck. Coach going in there, juking him out. Tank is not going to be able to catch Coach, as a matter of fact, down to 1k HP. Throwing a rock, missing the rock. What a take by NV Dragon.
That was spectacularly handled. Somehow they ate a double charge and still got away with pulling that tank out of his misery with a zero hitter.
Yeah, I mean, that right there, you're seeing the advantage of players being able to juke against a tank with no slowdown like that. Like, I mean, with tank slowdown, it's easy to juke, but when the tank has no slowdown like that, you need to definitely be well-timed, and Machina did a great job just dodging those tank punches. And we're actually seeing Envy move over to the gazebo here to do some kind of shopping, as a matter of fact, taking their sweet-ass time. It's going to be a Smoker, a Boomer, a Spitter, and a Charger for this hit for OFU Dragon.
Yeah, well, now it's all on the SI to do something, and that's going to be pretty hard with a tank out of the way and not having done any sort of damage at all. I mean, it pulls briefly on Alice with the Smoker, but I don't know. I mean, it's quite a huge drop of the baby, I would say, because this is quite bigger for just dropping the ball. But, I mean, now they've got the option here where they can come in from above on these rooftops if they wanted to, and Envy know that. Boomer goes in, gets a boom on one. I think the Charger got shut down.
Charger dropped in there and he got immediately annihilated. That spit delay will go out, but I'm taking a look at the bonus here, and it's an 81% health bonus with a 100% damage bonus, obviously. That is incredible right here. We have that Hunter who is going to go in there, gets a little bit of damage onto Kimchi, but there is almost no chip on the board right here, Dragon.
Weapons over here.
No, and to be honest, it seems like a well-handled tank. Like, it should be easy to avoid damage based on how NV proved it, but we obviously know how, like, formidable NV are with their SI, and their tanks usually always do quite a bit of damage. So I don't know. OFU really needs to do something here because I don't think this is going to shift the momentum too far in NV's favor already into the second map.
Exactly. I mean, if they manage to find a way to preserve this bonus through this event, that would be absolutely incredible. It's going to be a Spitter, a Smoker, a Jockey, and a force spawn for OFU right now. It's going to be a Hunter, so they do have that tri-cap with the spit. Looking at what they want to do, Smoker is on top of the roof there. It looks like he wants to get a pull when MV pushes again into their range from this rooftop. Indeed, they have. Smoker gets a pull in the back. Jockey gets killed before he touches the ground. Hunter lands for a tick of damage and a little bit of spit, but still, MV's doing a great job at mitigating that chip, Dragon.
Yeah, what helped them especially was that the Spitter went too soon and sort of spat, thinking that the Hunter was going to land, but actually the Hunter decided to pounce further back to get onto someone, and so there was some damage potential lost there as well. There is a Witch up ahead, but I mean, we know, from watching Asian teams in general that they are pretty cautious with their play, and even if they have a moment to do it, they will seize the opportunity by grabbing that first crown.
Indeed, we actually have a Charger.
Double charge.
That's great spit.
Oh, and the spit, this is... He went for the spin.
That is so unfortunate. He got the double charge. That proxy, however, does hit Rochelle, so that's going to now be the first, I'd say the first mark of damage even coming out onto NV really there. But had that spit landed Dragon, that would have been so much more.
Oh, it would have been. And now OFU really need to do something with this witch because it's slipping away from this map. I mean, they've got no in caps on it. Again, I mean, none of the survivors in the first round got in capped, which is kind of unthinkable in a sense. When was the last time that all 8 survivors on one map didn't get in capped once? It's kind of a hard thing to think about, isn't it?
It is extremely hard to think about here, and you know what? Envy's done a great job now putting themselves in a position here. They have 3 survivors on the top, plus Nick down below, but Nick's going to get pulled. Charger takes him. That's going to be a nice play going out onto Kimchi there. Hunter's actually going to jump on him and hold him in the spit for even... Actually, he gave him God frames.
Yeah, I mean, the Hunter did a really good job, of course, and that's probably as much damage as they're going to get. It's just that the spit damage in EQ doesn't do that much. Oh, they're going to go crown now, and Rochelle grabs it. Flyby again, taking the moment and rushing for that witch before OFU can have their spawns. This is going to be the final attack, I believe, unless somehow OFU can grab an in-cap out of this. But, I mean, NV have still got to deal with commons. There's more accessibility for the SI with the rooftops and the SI ladders available to them. The jockey's going in first. Spurs are going in. Oh, Boomer gets popped. It was the worst 2-2 anyway.
I think they're probably going to try to throw that in here right now in order to get a better attack. But MV now knows that all 4 of the SI are down. They're clearing out the rest of these common, and we are going to see them push. So they are going forward here through the rest of these commons. It's still about, 10 seconds before spawns are up for OFU. So MV barreling their way down this alley here. Absolutely no resistance from the commons in front because there are no commons.
Spawn, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Nah. Yeah, Hunter, they're in.
And that's going to be an absolutely... That bonus, 516 for NV on this map. Now, for those who usually watch pro mod streams, that still seems like an outrageous bonus for the second map, but on EQ Dragon, that score is crazy.
It's crazy because obviously there's things in place where you can't easily replicate the same score that you would in pro mod. So to do it under more challenging circumstances for survivors it just tells you at what level these teams are operating at.
And the level is, I believe, the highest level of play I think I've probably ever seen, as a matter of fact, as a spectator. Like, especially comparable to the rest of the, I guess, the world scene nowadays. I mean, if you look back classically, there might be teams who match this level, but this is something special here. Watching OFU and NV juke this out, I should say. And I'm looking at, I'm not exactly sure where Arya is from. I know he's probably Korean as well, but his ping is the only one that's a little bit questionable even. But even
it might be because of bad routing, I think.
Yeah, but taking all that into consideration, like, this is an even match, 1-game affair, just 1 out of 1, and NV just continuing to roll the way in which they have pretty much through these entire tournaments. And this tank is now crucial, Dragon, because if OFU takes a lot of damage here, that could definitely put NV on the route to winning this grand final.
It definitely would. The most important thing really for OFU is to make the save from, then worry about the bonus. Because if they get wiped here, it's going to be extremely difficult to recover in the next 2 maps, which are endurance maps, and are also open to the same amount of changes as the rest of these first 2 maps that we've seen, where there's more accessibility for the SI, there's more SI ladders. There's also 1 or 2 minor changes which most people watching the stream won't be familiar with when comparing to the original Parish campaign. So they need to keep up with NV's like Steam Train. They really have to make sure they don't fall up here.
Exactly, so it's going to be a Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter for NV on this first hit. OFU, again, taking the cautious approach here, clearing out those commons. I mean, it's definitely doable, but it also depends that they need to have a hit down so they can push out to that same kind of situation, because if I'm survivors here, Dragon, I don't want to be in this first area for a tank fight.
No. Smoker going first. Hunter landing, but Spit went early as well. I mean, Smoker's pulling Alice back into the Spit. They need to clear him. I mean, Coach, goes skinny dipping in the Spit just to, give a friendly punt to Ellis and get him out of the Spit. But now the tank is up. There's still a Smoker behind. If they need to actually get out of his line of sight. Rock running and lands on Nick.
Wow. So right there already, we're seeing MV taking advantage over OFU's tank, landing that first rock. Smoker trying to get another pull on to Nick, as a matter of fact. Tank is in the hands of Flyby for Team NV, and no matter who you ask, from whatever scene, they consider Flyby to be one of the best tanks in the entire world. We have a boom going out there on Rochelle, another rock going in, getting skeeted, but this is clutch time for OFU now, Dragon. Flyby's already landed one rock.
Yeah, and he's keeping his distance, but he's keeping sight more importantly, which is absolutely the smartest thing to do. You're mitigating shit by keeping the distance, but you know, you're ensuring that you can play a rock tank, you know, all day by doing this. So, but I mean, he's just starting to move around. I think he's lobbying to probably get in, or yeah, he's going straight for the attack.
Wow, he separates Rochelle. That's pretty big, actually. We're going to get another punch going out, as a matter of fact. Hunter bouncing around extremely fast. Jockey as well. Flyby pushes them away. Oh, they're going to go there. They're going to try to get the down on Rochelle. Another punch goes out on the Survivor as well. They're going to try to go for the kill, I think. I'm taking a look at here. That Hunter is scratching with that Smoker. Flyby doing a great job keeping this away. And Dragon, that's going to be a kill on the Yuri.
Wow. You know, that was absolutely smart, but that's actually something I like doing myself as a hunter. Sometimes I like to actually just pounce around but not actually land on anyone, because it confuses the hell out of the survivors. Sometimes they're just trying to shoot you down or skeet you, and you're sort of pouncing around but not getting too close. And they're wondering, well, do I skeet the hunter or do I shoot the tank? And both the hunter and the jockey were doing that, distracting the three survivors, which in turn lessened the amount of chip on Flyby's tank, whilst the Smoker had, Rochelle separated up the front and away from everyone else. I mean, it's like the whole thing was, it was like a whole plan in the making, like as soon as the tank came up.
Yeah, they had that planned out. They knew they were going to try to get that separation. I do hear a scout going off, but at the point in time with one survivor dead, that's obviously going to be a victory for NV for this chapter, but that is just ridiculously smart play coming out from them. Tank throwing another rock in there, trying to hit Ellis at this point, but if you're Team OFU, I'm probably shell-shocked after that, Dragon.
Well, yeah, because that's quite a significant tactical error that was. Flyby saw his opportunity, he went in, and now there's another separation. It's like, what are OFU doing now? I mean, are they completely lost their motivation after just one death?
I'm not sure, but as you said, that Smoker getting another separation. Rock going in does get skeeted, but there's a lot of common chip going out onto Ellis as well. Tank is down so low here. He's at 15% frustration. Actually, he's going to go AI. But still, what an amazing tank by Flyby to get that separation and get that kill, Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, the damage has been done. I mean, it's not impossible that OFU can make the save from, because we know how resilient Asian teams are with their survivor skills and capabilities, but against them, I mean, look, they already have an attack ready for this alleyway, and they're already primed on the rooftops and on the bridge, I think. I can see it from this distance. But yeah, they're going to go in with a Hunter behind. Charger going as well, but Charger missing and a spit as well. They actually did pretty well to not take as much chip, but again, it's all damage mitigation now. They need to make the safer.
They need to make the safe room, and they only have one set of pills left, so depending on these pill spawns now, it's really, I mean, already they're going to be down. It's 516 bonus round 1, 280 bonus already for round 2, and Hunter, Smoker, Charger, at any point here, we could see MB attempting for a tri-cap, and this is where the map's going to start working against Team OFU, because as they run up here, there's going to be a lot of enclosed space and a lot of propensity for this tri-cap to land. Spitter will be the fourth spawn, seeing them spawn up here right now. Going in, Hunter goes in there, Hunter, Charger, Smoker both land, Hunter going in, Nick is the last one, Nick kills the Hunter. Nick kills the Hunter, but still, that's going to be a full down going out into Coach and a massive amount of damage, Dragon.
It's almost too much damage now. They've only got like the DB left to protect, and well, it's the DB if they can make it, and the distance points. I mean, the distance points first, of course. They need that more than anything else. But yeah, I mean, this is quite a huge shift in momentum here. I mean, not just because it's going to be several hundred points difference, but because there's endurance maps coming up in the next 2 maps, and not really expecting survivor teams to make that in probability. Meanwhile, attack coming in, and Nick again catching more spit after being charged, and I think a Hunter tried grabbing him as well.
Yeah, the Hunter managed to land, and the Charger actually bounced off in the center there. They were trying to get some kind of interception. At the same point in time, we actually have Coach being separated back here. Smoker is going to get a pull there as Ellis turns around to try to free him, but that's even more damage going out onto Arya. He is not black and white, however, so he will be able to keep working his way along here, but each distance point here now becomes special for Team OFU because obviously NV, as you said, are going to be prepared for those endurance maps. We actually have a Boomer landing, a single boom Charger going in, landing onto Ellis, getting the in cap on the mop. You can see the jockey getting killed, and the Smoker does get a pull out onto Nick. So that's going to be even more and more damage going out here, Dragon. They're going to have no bonus by the end of this event.
Nah, I mean, checking it now, it's already like 25 bonus. They're not going to have any bonus. The only thing they can do is just get distance.
I mean, that's still important, but as you said, the endurance maps are indeed coming up, and we're taking a look at how OFU is holding up against NV's Special Infected. Obviously, they're playing with the Survivor down, but the most important part of that was how Team NV did with their tank. You guys see the Hunter landing in front of their Charger, trying to take an intercept, but that is going to be a clear going out. Two Survivors down in the back. Jukebox is the only one left up, and he only has 9 HP. Charger climbing up the side here, seeing Jukebox trying to push forward to his common. Charger goes in, that's the wipe onto Team OFU from Team NV, Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely clinical SI play all around from NV. I mean, Flyby played a spectacularly intelligent tank right there. Getting the separation on Shell, that sort of set up the whole play for the SI. It's like they were completely shell-shocked by how that tank made the approach and how the Smoker got the separation. It's just like how they managed to grab a death in the park of all places.
Right. I mean,
yeah, it's typically just completely... it's exhilarating play to watch from NV, but obviously these teams are used to playing each other more than anyone else, so you almost think that if this amount of time they've been playing together and against each other with their SI play, you'd think they know what they're all capable of, but still, I mean, NV managed to spring the surprise there.
Exactly. I mean, you said it. I mean, that play just shell-shocking OFU, and that had enough of an impact on me, and we're sitting here casting the game, we're not even playing, yeah. And it's like, okay, we see a separation pull going out in the park, and you expect the Survivors to be able to clear that, but the coordination was just so locked in from the Special Infected of NV, getting the distraction, the tank actually becoming less of a focus and more of a way in which to distract the Survivors, like literally taking the Special Infected of the game and exercising it to all possibilities there, because Flyby did work, but it was a team effort, and that's the thing, like, all these players on NV and OFU for both teams are great players in their own right, but when they come together is when they really shine, I'd say.
Absolutely. I gotta say, I think that part of the tank that impressed me the most was like the part where the tank was running towards the other 3 survivors, and he had the encore of the Hunter and the jockey just simply pouncing around, not entirely trying to go directly for someone, but it was like watching something from the Moscow Circus. You got a big burly Russian bodybuilder like steaming in there. You got a couple of the ballerina dancers sort of flying around with all the acrobatics and, you know, all the glitz and glamour. And, you know, it actually worked pretty damn well. I mean, that bodybuilder was still going strong.
Envy is the Russian circus, Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, Dragon, that is probably the best analogy I've ever heard to describe a team. We are going live here, though, with Team Envy on the Survivor side and Team OFU on the Infected side. So, Smoker, Charger, Boomer, Hunter, tank is at 33% here. I do hear the Scout, which means it's going to be in the hands of Machina. And this is a chance for Team OFU to rebound, but at the same point in time, they need to slow down that Survivor play of NV because we know how exactly devastating they can be. And they're taking their time again here. You're going to be seeing this as pretty much a regular thing whenever you watch an Asian team, as Dragon said. They are finding ways in which to clear out every single common, trying to find just a way in which to deal with just the SI, because when you stack their Survivor against the SI, it can be really cool. See a Charger go in there, try and take a solo charge, not going to land. Nice 2-cap lands, however, with both the Hunter and the Smoker. Boomer gets popped, but still some damage coming out there, Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it could have almost been a tri-cap, but Hansuki knew just how to bait out that Charger, especially with Charger just rocketing in, and he just sidestepped at the last second out of the doorway. So pretty well handled. A bit of damage for OFU, which is nice, but still, they need to make bigger inroads than that to end these bonus. They have to start making a change right now.
Exactly, and this tank here at 33% is going to be absolutely crucial, as every tank is, but this is the one where they need to do a lot of damage to NV, because if you let NV have this kind of health working their way through the map, that is definitely not good for OFU's chances playing from behind like this. Next attack's going to be a Charger, a Hunter, a Spitter, and a Boomer, so a 2-2 with Charge Spit here for Team OFU. Looks like they want to come from the roof, and it looks as though they're going to actually reposition now, because that Charger was there. Boomer gets popped nicely by Flyby. Hunter is now spawned up, making some noise. Charger has moved his way to the other roof, as a matter of fact, but NV taking their sweet time, baiting it out here, seeing what they might try to pick the Hunter first, enter the Spitter, but there seems to be some pretty snap coordination by OFU to make this work. Hunter going in, Charger rockets in, manages to get the charge onto Ellis. Nice 2-cap actually now does land momentarily, with Spit going down on Ellis, so that's some nice damage there, Dragon.
Yeah, it's about a small to medium amount of damage, but I mean, OFU needs everything they can get right now, of course, and we are going to see this tank very soon, actually, right now, at 33%. He spawns inside the house, in the hands of Yuri.
Yeah, and Yuri's going to need to make work happen here. We're seeing NV actually running back. Smoker going, gets the pull! That's a separation onto them, and now we're going to see a clear, trying to come out by Ellis, and Ellis gets the clear. Wow, that was almost a disaster there. We're seeing the tank run in, trying to take off here. Oh boy, tank is jumping up and down, trying to hit Machina, having absolutely no luck. Nice to go for the car. That was a clutch save right there by Ellis, Dragon.
It was, yeah. I mean, that was almost what OFU needed, and they're going to be kicking themselves they didn't do about it sooner. But the tank was sort of messing around with a dumpster, and, you know, that's not such a bad decision, I don't think, but I mean, if he was just a little bit quicker, he could have actually capitalized on that, and that could have been an in-cap, at least, maybe even a death. He's trying to get this car in, but he needs to be careful that he isn't putting all his eggs into one basket for the hittable. The jockey is landing on Rochelle at the back. You know, I mean, the tank hasn't really gone in yet, and they've done quite a bit of decent damage to the start of this map. But now Yuri's already on his second pass.
Yeah, they sent an SI hit in there. The Hunter got some separation, but then he's putting, as you said, he's kind of putting all his eggs in one basket now, because he has to run in there and hit that car. This is going to be the hit he goes in with. It's a Smoker, Hunter, and a Charger. He's now going to sit behind his car, let the survivors chip him a little bit, knocking it in towards NV, getting as much chip as they possibly can. Car going to the one side now. Smoker spawns up, going to try to get a separation here. Car flying in. Seeing it now, Envy backing up. Smoker pull does go onto Rochelle. Tank intercepts. Double punch goes out. And that's going to be a tri-cap landing. Tri-cap lands onto Envy. There's one left. Coach trying to take his pills. Getting punched around right now by that tank. He has the corner out onto Machina. The tri-cap did land. Another punch going out. And Dragon, that's the wipe from OFU onto Envy.
Result for OFU. That's exactly what they needed to make this game somewhat feel closer again. Now they have the opportunity. If they can make amends for what they got wrong in map 2, then it's quite possible that OFU can actually reach into the safe room and get some bonus back.
What a tank. What SI support. That initial separation pull with the Smoker, then the Hunter jumps on, hits the intercept, tank gets a double punch. That was amazing. That right there definitely offsets what Envy did in the second chapter, but now Dragon, OFU needs to make this count. This is their one opportunity that they're going to get. I'm saying it right now. Envy usually never makes a mistake like that, and if you get something like that to happen against Envy, you have to take full advantage of it as Survivor. They need to perform right here.
Yeah, it's now or never. I mean, map 4 is going to be more challenging than this in terms of reaching the safe room or even getting bonus. So now is the opportunity. I mean, in this map, yes, there's more accessibility, there's more, you know, rooftops and ladders open to the SI, as we all know. But it's still pretty open in a sense for survivors, and this is really their chance. They've got to make the most of it.
Really do. And now it's going to be Envy who feels a little bit of that pressure on the special infected side. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter. Smoker wants to pull from the left side of the safe room. Charger is up top. Boomer is going to come from opposite the survivors across from the safe room, and the Hunter is already making noise to distract. Bouncing around, it's going to be a Machina tank at the actually, wait. Yeah, it's going to be a Machina tank at 33% there. Same spawn we just saw, obviously. Hunter gets nicely picked by the Scout. Boomer gets shut down. Charger misses. Smoker got a little bit of a pull. One punch from that Charger, but oh my, are OFU alive, Dragon.
Great shutdown as well, only taking like one Smoker pull and Charger punch, and that was about it, and a Charger stumble as well, but a better shutdown actually from OFU, taking less damage than NV did. No, I mean, as far as, you know, team strength goes and survivor play, I mean, they're doing pretty well. I mean, it's pretty much level pegging with NV. It's just that one occasion where they kind of misjudged it and misjudged their positioning with in regards to dealing with Flyby's tank.
Right, and I mean, now they have the chance to make amends. It's going to be a Hunter, a Charger, a Spitter, and a Boomer for Team Envy on this hit. They're going to have the Charger and the Spitter both on the high roof there. Boomer wants to come from the back. This is how he... What?
They're actually sending one person in to show up and out again. This must mean that there's something in there that they want, and they're just being careful about how to get it. Oh, but there is a charging spit landing on Nick. And that's on Jukebox. He's going to have to get out of there quick.
That's pretty good pre-tank damage there. Boomer got a single boom. The Hunter landed momentarily as well. I think that was the right call definitely by OFU because now they're going to be able to push forward here and probably spawn that tank before a hit is up to hit them on the run back if they're fast enough. Maybe, maybe not, because spawns are almost in queue for NV, and as a matter of fact, they are going to have another hit up, despite the fact that OFU is rushing forward here. Rochelle is separated. We're seeing the hit come in. It's a Smoker Jockey Hunter.
Oh, wow.
Smoker's going to get a pull onto Rochelle. Hunter's trying to hit the intercept, but they clear it. Now the Hunter's going to go in there as well. And you know, this tank is rolling in, and they actually lit something on fire. So now the tank is going to try to get a rock on Rochelle, throwing it in there, as a matter of fact, gets the rock onto Guri. Tank is taking some chip here, but we're seeing OFU quite out of position at the moment.
Jockey lights
himself on fire. Rocco's flying in. That was almost disastrous, actually, Dragon.
It was, but, I mean, Machina has landed that rock, so... Oh, that Boomer's position as well. Is he going to try and actually... No, he decided out of it. He realised they were going to move back. He wouldn't have got the arc in time, so it was a good call from the Boomer. He manages to save it and make more use of it in short time, I imagine. But, yeah, that was a lucky escape. Oh, the Boomer's coming in to just get a boom on to Nick. Carr is going to come in. He gets that in fairly nicely, actually. But Rochelle, I think, needs to back up a little... Oh, I always thought that was going to go out, but he does actually keep the car in.
Oh, he's going to try to hit it here. You're going to have OFU moving back to the safe room here. Tank is going to be... He's still on first pass, so he's getting chipped down, but he is going to commit on this.
You know what? They still got commons for it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's trying to
coordinate with that. They do have the tri-cap as well, so here we go. Machina moving in here, head the separation onto Ellis. Ellis being hit around. Oh, they're doing the same thing. Hunter's trying to go for him as well. Charger too. Ellis is going to get hit. Double punch goes out. Charger lands. Jockey going in. Tank has 2 left. Another punch going out. Jockey needs to try to get this onto Rochelle. Tank, actually, they've actually cleared the Hunter, so Ellis is still alive. Tank still has 2.3k HP. They're getting another hit onto Ellis. Jockey jumping around. Carr is in the middle here. Another punch going on to Rochelle. Jockey lands, and that is the answering wipe from NV onto OFU there. That's going to be a deagle clear, but the tank locks it up.
Yeah, and that was quite, I've got to say, from a sense of keeping it neutral and wanting it to be a close game all the way, that was quite a shame from OFU, to be honest. They had the right idea initially, but then Ellis decided to go forward and literally put the tank between himself and the rest of his team, which made the Hunter's job a little bit easier, although the Hunter took his time trying to catch on to Ellis. But yeah, I mean, they didn't really have any other options at that point. I mean, the tank was coming in with the car, they had to move back, but if they had just stayed together a little bit more, you know, I mean, could have obviously made that tank and survived it and then gone to score at least a little bit more distance. The bonus was pretty much being shredded, but I feel like the way they've been distracted by the SI so much, they kind of stopped or slowed down their DPS on the tank, which kind of, you know, screwed them over in the long run.
Right, and now, I mean, we're going to be having a tank at 59% here, but that has to be a little bit demoralizing, obviously, for OFU. Still behind by 801 points. NB now going to continue their survivor path. And I don't know, Dragon, does Lightning strike twice? Did they get 2 wipes on MB in the same game?
It's possible. I mean, we saw in the third map, so it's definitely possible. It's going to be a 59% tank, though. That's going to be it's just before the drop. However, the pool room isn't open anymore, and neither is the street. And if they want to get back, they actually have to pass the shutter.
Are you sure the pool room's not open? Because I'm looking at it and it looks as...
No. Look on the main street. There's a lorry blocking it.
Oh, okay. So that means...
You go into the room on the right,
yeah,
and there should be like a door. Or actually, do you?
I'm looking, and there is that blocking it, but... I don't know. We're going to find out. This is one of the biggest differences, as Dragon was explained to me pre-cast, between the Dark Parish and the regular version of Parish. So get ready to see some odd survivors happening if you're just used to the normal Parish. It's going to be a Jockey, a Spitter, a Charger, and a Smoker for Team OFU on this first hit here, Dragon.
Yeah. OFU, you do big damage, if not now, like, get a wipe at the tank. Is there any option? There is a finale, of course, which will be played. It'll be interesting to see how that decides things. But, I mean, there's an 800 difference, as you said. They need to make some big inroads into that, now. I mean, they should have done it map 3. I think it's going to be a lot more difficult to do it now. But we will have to wait on and see.
We will indeed see. It's going to be a mop tank at that time. Envy have pushed their way out of the safe room here towards the fountain, taking their sweet time, baiting out the hit, killing all the commons that they possibly can. I do hear some common fighting somewhere, but I can't actually see it, so we haven't seen that yet. But we should be seeing the attack from OFU relatively soon. Explosion's all about, and it's going to be a waiting game for a second here, because Envy is still blocking that safe room, moving, making sure that their movement is pretty precise, as a matter of fact, and they are running their classic 3-1 setup. You see the charge goes, a nice charge on to Alex, Smith's going down on top of that. Cougar got a brief pull, Jock onto Rochelle too. That's going to be a nice amount of damage going out onto Kimchi there, Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely, and good damage overall. There was almost 50 damage on the first attack, so, OFU are still pretty potent with their SI play when they want to be, but, Asian teams in general, we know are strong at survivor play, and I'm having weird...
You getting that too?
Yeah.
Alright then, so we have some lag hitting the server here for a second. Looks as though there was just a little bit of a blip in the system for a moment there, and they are going to pause until that subsides. Not entirely sure what that was, but the server's been pretty good so far. I know it is definitely a Taiwanese server, so they have paused, and I guess they will try to unpause to see if that fixed it. Hopefully it's nothing major, and we can just get this game continuing rolling the way it has been.
Yeah, I think it's just a server. I don't think it's not a DOS, because if it was a DOS, the pings would all be spiking up majorly. It's just... And of course, the play would freeze as well. It's just, I think, server issues, maybe.
I don't know, Dragon. I usually have pretty good ping when I'm playing, but I checked my net graph, and for some reason I have 250.
Yeah. That's
wonder why that is.
Taiwanese servers for you.
Exactly. And what's your latency to here? Like 300 something?
It was 350. Currently 333 the last time I checked.
Yeah, and Ninja, I don't know what yours is either. Yours is probably the closest out of both of us, because you're connecting to, I see, a Taiwanese server from the west coast of the United States. Having some nice faces go out in the chat, because we still have 13 spectators here, so that's either 13 streamers and/or casters. Obviously, the most covered game you guys are watching in Left 4 Dead 2 history, as far as I'm concerned, and that definitely has to be a record of some kind. Are going to go back live here, and everything looks smooth to me, Dragon.
Yeah.
High live.
It's still good.
Doesn't look.
It's still good. Oh, wait. Maybe. No.
No, we're going to have a smoke pull going back. Does get cleared. Double boom lands. Vamp. A jockey taking a jock as well. Charger is going to come in from the back too. He's going to land a nice charge does land, but still, I think that might have a little bit to do with the fact that the server is having a palpitation right now.
Yeah, and you see, this is the alternative route, but... Yeah, this is strange. I don't know if it's because the server's having issues or if it can't handle multiple people connected to it at once. It shouldn't really be a DOS or anything. I mean, this isn't... I don't know if this actually has any DDoS protection or not. Yeah.
Who has the time to DOS at 8:14 in the morning? Deck is questioning what's happening here, and he's saying no. So that means we are going to try to go live here again in the Grand Finals of Eco Cup number 3. Looking around, it seems to be okay right after the pause, but it's still glitching for me now.
Yeah, it's still going for me too. It's...
It is a DDoS as far as I know. I'm looking at it here, and it looks like a DOS to me. If we need to, I'm taking a look at scores, but yeah, it looks as though they are getting lag on both sides. They haven't committed pills, so that's good, so we can just chill for a second while this happens. I'm going to keep trying to move my camera around it. It's still being shaky at the moment. Looking at the survivors glitching across here, and Dragon, you are the cup admin, and you are being asked what to do. Looking at it, and...
Well, I'm typing, I'm trying to type, but it's taking a while for the thing to go through.
Talking here. So, right now the scores, I mean, if we have to, we could probably switch servers and then have the scores be similar. It was like 1607 exactly to 806, so 1607 to 806. Just to put that in chat for reference if we need it. I don't care who questions why I'm typing it. So, if we need to save those scores and set them with Envy in the lead, we possibly can, but this is obviously going to throw a lot of momentum into question here, and obviously we're seeing Envy still trying to run around. Everybody's saying, Flyby's saying he's going to try to reconnect. And then Deck is saying it was 3,800 to 1,000 last time I checked, and if there is another neutral server, yes, I'm sure I got that right, Deck, I'm sorry. I can't give your team an extra 2,000 points. And they're saying they're going to try to reconnect, so do we try to reconnect here, Dragon, or what do we do?
Well, I think reconnecting's going to work. I mean, obviously, I'm welcome to trying that for everyone, but I don't know if that's going to solve the issue. I think it's something more to do with the server.
Yeah, I mean, reconnecting there and trying to restart client-side would definitely help if it were a client-side problem, but since it is a server-side problem, that's going to affect everybody whether they reconnect or not. So if I know anything about anything at all, which I'm not saying I do, everybody who watches my cast knows I can be pretty dense at times. That's the right word. And sorry, it's 8:15 in the morning, but I think it's more of a server issue there instead of just client-side stuff. So even if we all reconnected, I think the problem would still persist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because we know that kick witch is a server-side problem.
Let's not go into that. Let's not talk about the time I kissed me from a match live on stream because I tried to kick a witch. Let's not talk about that. I'll provide link to the VOD if anybody wants to see it.
They're going live again.
Okay,
so... We're going to try now.
Alright, let's see if this works. And I'm still seeing laggy-ass survivors. And actually, you know what? They're jumping around now. Now it looks smoother to me.
It looks smoother.
So that looks like our little incident has passed, saying it's fine now, so looks as though we will be going live again. So we are going to be seeing Team Envy take this alternate route here, as Dragon mentioned before, as long as everybody can move. Indeed they can. So for some reason those two reconnecting seem to fix part of that. They're still jumping around, I think, to see if there is lag or not. But yes, this is the alternate route here, Dragon. It's a nice place to see the special infected hitting from.
Yeah, so they're going to be coming up through this cafe, trying to go through the tables. Boomer missed, though. They're going to try and get this jockey Rochelle, who gets shut down. So the attack didn't quite pan out the way OFU were hoping for, and now Envy are going to be making their way through this sort of cafe, then going upstairs into more like the bar area, and then through the balcony. I mean, this is quite an interesting route, actually.
Yeah, I'm seeing where they're going, and obviously there is a hit down, so they should have no problem traversing this, going past an alarm card, as a matter of fact. And now it turns back, it seems like, into the normal parish route. There's a little bit of slowdown happening on a couple of survivors. We have a hit coming in, as a matter of fact. Nick gets separated, he's going to get charged. Spit goes down on top of his face. Triboom goes out, Jockey goes in, holding him in his spit, actually. That's going to be a lot of damage going out onto Hansuki. Getting stumbled by the Jock as well, and the Machina. Great hit coming out from OFU there, Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised, actually, that OFU decided not to try and get the alarm car involved somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe they've decided in scrims that it wasn't worthwhile Maze of actually negotiating it so easily, but there's no point in the SI even bothering with the alarm car. But yeah, still good damage on Hatsuki and on Machina. The Witch is actually up at 49% on the balcony. This is such an interesting spot.
That is new.
The tank should be coming up pretty soon as well, actually, at 59%. I imagine the tank's going to come up as soon as this Witch is killed.
That is really interesting, and the hit is up as well. Witch is starting to get aggro because another change in EQ, I don't know if you mentioned or not, is a larger aggravation radius. We've seen that Witch going here right now.
Witch goes out.
They fail the crown, so now we're going to see that Hunter bouncing around too. Spit goes down. They're going to clear that Hunter. Now the Charger spawns up as well. Going in there, managing to stumble Nick for a little bit more damage, but that's going to be a full down on that Witch.
Yeah, well, they did the smart thing by sending in Ellis to deal with it, who was the least amount of bonus anyway. But, I mean, Hatsuki and Kimchi both took quite a bit of damage. They dropped down for this tank. Wow.
Alright.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is typically in the North American scene at least seen as one of the hardest tanks for the survivors to survive if they fight it in this area due to the fact there is so much range. But they do have the scout for Team NV.
Fortunately for them, there was a scout on the table and an ammo pile, so they won't run out of ammo too soon.
Double boom and a double tap. That's going to be a massive amount of damage. And a rock landed on the rock landed as well, but that's a massive amount of damage going out. And this is exactly why, because this tank can rotate and keep sight all day. Throwing a rock down here in the hands of Mop, missing that rock, but what damage, Dragon?
Yeah. As we know from Pro Mod, this is like the easiest rock tank to play, but the survivors do have a scout on their hands, so they can actually try and do something about this. But the scout's like missing his bullets.
Tank's still at 6k HP, so we're gonna see another hit coming here in that fight. But you know what?
He's gonna jump in.
Rochelle is slow. He jumps in there, gets a punch out on the coach, I believe. Another punch on the flyby too. Third punch landing on him for the in-cap tank.
What is Flyby landing?
Turning back around. What the hell?
He's on the entry!
That's a death! That's a death right there. So no matter what, that's a death. But he's gonna go get another punch on the Kimchi. Kimchi goes flying off. Hunter lands. Hansuki getting destroyed by that Charger and Hunter right now. Ellis is gonna get pulled. Tank goes in there right now. Another punch going out onto Hansuki. Another punch onto him, and that is indeed lightning striking twice. 2 wipes on the NV Dragon.
I just had to take a screenshot of He got the midair. It's
Grand
like
finals.
it's like he's lying down on like the lightest fucking tree branch.
That is amazing. So grand finals action right there. Seeing Coach get punted to a spot where he's not supposed to be. So it's good that because that'd be really interesting to see if that would have been disputable or not had he been knocked to that area. You know what I mean? So but they wiped, so it's not a question.
Yeah, and it's going to be a hard tank, but they have the scout available to them, and in that area, you know, survivors actually can maneuver around pretty smartly and avoid a lot of damage from a tank if they know how to. But obviously we know NV always conjure up something pretty special with their SI and tank plays, so you know, it's still questionable what's going to happen, but you know, that's the easiest place in the whole game for a rock tank. We know that from promo, but they have a scout available to them, so that kind of levels things quite significantly. There's still a chance that OFU can drop down and still deal with the tank. They can't go back, of course. Full room's not available to them. They have to bypass an alarm car, which is too big a risk.
Can they go back technically? Like, can they get to spawn? I'm trying to figure it out, because I know Envy got really close to the end. I'm thinking Envy probably would have known if they were able to go back or not. So it really depends, but it's still a close game, still within OFU's reach. We are going to have a Kimchi tank at that 59% mark, so Envy's going to try to do work beforehand. Jockey actually swung up right now. They get a nice jockey out of the safe room. That's going to be a tri-cap landing. Tri-cap from NV. Spit goes down top of the jockey. Nick is Nick is not clearing. He's not clearing anything. Oh my god. That is a full down off that first hit. And I can't even tell you what NV did that was special about it. They just landed the tri-caps and Jukebox didn't clear.
Jukebox, I mean, he's also an NV player, you know. One of the Korean players who plays for NV, but really struggling to cut that or shoot that tongue with the scout. And he still kept on doing it, despite the fact that a teammate of his was like 2 feet away from him being pounded by the Charger.
That's a double boom going out too.
That's a major blunder from OFU right there. That's gonna cost them dearly.
Jockey lands as well. They're gonna send a Charger in. Charger's gonna miss. Spick goes down, but one's already on full bleed. Mop is at half health. Rochelle's about to go slow, and they have only 2 pills, Dragon. That's the current situation for OFU.
And Rochelle just, you know, gleefully runs through Spit, because why the fuck not?
I'm pretty stunned actually at that, because I mean MV landing that open field tri-cap to start off, I've not seen a hit be that effective there in either configuration for quite a long time. So now OFU needs to make it to this tank and try to get max distance or something like that to keep pace with this chapter from NV. Obviously, the big disparity, the only disparity really so far, has been that second chapter when NV made that play. Hunter's gonna spawn up here right now, breaking some glass, getting chipped down, Smoker, Charger, Boomer for the rest of the hit. But this is now actually interesting because OFU's gonna need to drop here, and there is a full hit up for NV Dragon.
Yeah, and Coach is right at the back as well. 2 of them have dropped. It's like the Smoker's position to actually try and pull one towards the car.
He's gonna try it. Charger spawns in the back as well. Rochelle hits the alarm car. Charger lands in the back. Charger has gotten onto one of the survivors and they aren't clearing it. Hunter is bouncing around looking for the intercept. Gets killed, but that's their bonus Dragon. That was on the Jukebox. He's down now.
OFU is just being torn apart into pieces and then tiny molecules even more. It's not even a laughing matter anymore. It's just unbelievable watching this. I mean, there was a huge blunder, of course, with Jukebox being pretty tardy to clear everything from his teammates, but now this. But, I mean, the saving grace for them, though, is that they don't have, for this particular map on its own, they don't have much to cut back from. They just have to match the distance, and at least, you know, they haven't lost anything since map 2. But that's not really the point. The point is they should be making inroads no matter what, and they're just not taking the opportunity.
Oh, Witch is going off right here, getting someone by that spitter, goes in, gets the down on the Mop. Dragon, the thing is, yeah, they're not losing ground, but they gave up so much ground in the second chapter, and they were handed on a silver platter 2 tank wipes to take this game from NV, and they didn't do it. Now they're going to go forward here and try to take max distance, but Charter actually manages to hit Coach, gets cleared after hitting a double charge, tank in the hands of Kimchi, going straight in. This is going to be a wipe onto OFU, pretty much no question about it. Another punch showing out, 2 downs already. Jukebox starts the event, runs around, but it's been a tie game since map 2, but that map 2 break by NV has been what has decided this game so far.
And Michelle's being damaged, I think, by the tie. It's just been pulpit trapped. But yeah, I mean, they make about 8 points, but it's 8 points. I'm not actually sure about what the distance bonus is for the finale. I assume it's the same as what's on the standard parish finale, but we'll have to see. Yeah, the advantage right now is with NV, no question, and that's despite the fact that we've got the bridge finale coming up. But I really don't see a way back for OFU. I mean, if they wanted to make a way back, they should have like proven it with their play, which they failed to do. And map 2 obviously was the biggest decider, but they had chances to come back in map 3, and well, they had a chance beginning of map 4, but that chance disappeared as soon as the map began.
This is going to be interesting because obviously in the North American scene, we haven't seen a finale on either Parish or Dark Parish in a very long time. This is going to be my first experience casting a finale on the Parish as well, and I've casted a lot of games on Parish. This is going to be pretty interesting too, because did they make any special changes to the map as opposed to the vanilla version of Parish finale?
It's been a very long time for me as well, and I don't know if I actually saw this, like, ever. This is probably the first time I've ever seen the finale. So maybe it's going to be more in common with the actual vanilla version rather than the updated version that's in Pro Mod. But, I mean, we know that in the Asian community that they play finales all the time, like they do in North America. In fact, they asked me, I think the Korean team asked me, do they still play finales on Parish? Because apparently they still do that in the Asian community. So maybe they'll be more used to it than even the North American community, let alone the European one.
I'd say so, and I mean, there's always the possibility of hitting that infamous death charge where, obviously, that can turn the tide of a game in a second here, but something tells me of all the teams to try to land a death charge on, Envy is probably not the one you want to try to hinge your game and hopes on.
Yeah.
Something tells me they're going to be aware of every spot, aware of every choke, and they're going to bait it as they know to do. I don't know, Dragon. OFU still has a chance here. It is the finale. Hashtag believe, I guess, if you're into that. It's going to be a jockey, a charger, a smoker, and a boomer for OFU on this first hit. And they're going for the gold dragon. They're moving to a death charge spot.
Yep. They are indeed. I mean, that's the thing they got to be thinking about now, actually, is getting those quick deaths and mitigating the distance. I mean, the distance, if they can cut that off, and then get to the chopper, then the distance alone will be pretty good. And assuming they have good bonus as well after the tank, yeah, I mean, OFU still have a chance. It's unlikely at this point based on the momentum that's been going on in this game.
The momentum has been completely sided towards NV. It's been threatened to be taken away by OFU a few times, but they haven't been able to get it. Now, this is a very interesting strategy being employed here right now. The scout is in the hands of Kimchi, who is far back, as a matter of fact, looking for a clear. But here we go. Smoker spawns up, gonna miss. Ducky gets dead stopped and cleared. Scout has been boomed, and we actually have Ellis running ahead here. Smoker's trying to get a pull on him, but he's baiting it out. They're gonna trap the boomer jump in. Smoker's down to very, very low health. And that was exactly, I think, what OFU was, actually what Envy was looking for. Smoker gets picked by Machina, and this charger has nothing, Dragon.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's gonna try to. He's gonna get it!
Oh my god! Oh,
wow!
My god!
Solo charger.
What?
Even when he lost his solo support and everything else, he still landed it.
Are you kidding me? Coach just... Oh my god, Hansuki just walked right in the middle of that charger. He got the free charge. Watch out. Dragon, this is possible. I mean...
And that was by NT as well, wasn't it? I think that was NT landed it, wasn't it?
That's Yuri, who's playing as NT for some reason. But that is ridiculous in a grand finals game to have that happen. And now it's 3 survivors. That tank can definitely wipe Team OFU, or Team MV here for Team OFU. I am stunned.
It could happen, but we don't want to get don't want to get too overexcited. Just yeah, we've got to see how this pans out with the survivor round. There's only 3 survivors left. There is a tank, of course, up ahead, and a witch as well. 84%. Jockey lands. They just need that other charge. Another charger coming. Oh, but he misses completely.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have tried to do the same miracle twice and tried to take another free charge, but obviously now these 3 survivors for NV, they need to do work. And I mean, they're going to need bonus on Team OFU side of things with 800. Obviously 800 distance plus at the max right now. I'd say 300 bonus, or at the minimum I should say. And now the tank is going to come up in the hands of Mop, so it's 4 on 3 here, Dragon.
Yeah, actually, I've just checked. The distance of this is 500 and 1,000 bonus. So it's looking pretty tight actually for OFU, even with this still going on.
And the tank is okay. So tank's going to roll in here. The 3 survivors from NV are working back. Car does land onto 2 survivors. Now he gets another punch, separating Nick there. Another car onto him. Flyby is down. And now that car goes flying in. Hits Ellis as well. Car's going flying in everywhere. And that's the wipe on the NV.
It is, yeah. Well, they've only scored about 2.2k, but they're 1,080 points ahead. OFU need a super round here. It's not enough just to make the chopper ball for survivors. They need huge bonus to do it if they want to actually clinch the win from NV's fingertips.
I'm thinking about it, and this map, from what I remember, the few times I have played it competitive, which isn't saying a lot, but also from watching it, I've seen comebacks like this happen definitely in the American scene before. I think back to Polarity versus Royalty way long ago. I think back to a whole bunch of different cats that I've seen. But OFU, I mean, the hits that you can get here are definitely spectacular if you can land a death charge or something like that. But if survivors play it careful, that tank is, especially with a scout, that tank is definitely beatable. But again, we've seen OFU get 2 wipes on the NV in the previous chapters, now 3 actually concurrently in a row. Or consecutively, I should say, not concurrently. That means at the same time. Whoops. But at the same point in time, they got the white map 3, didn't capitalize. Got the white map 4, definitely didn't capitalize. They've gotten the wipe now. This is do or die. This is it. Like we've said, it's do or die for the past 2 chapters because it really has been, and they've died both times. But can third time be the charm here for OFU? I think they have the possibility to definitely pull it out here, Dragon. But they need to play the survivor round of their tournament lives.
Yeah, that's quite an obvious thing to say because it's the championship that's on the line here. I mean, this is the final round, the final chance that they've got, and 580 bonus is what they need. I mean, that's about 58 bonus total. And, you know, on the bridge, that's possible, but it's commons coming towards you. It's also the SI raining down from the top.
Wait.
It's also the death charge. It's also the charge trying to look for that death charge. They pop the boomer.
What's the distance point for this map?
It's 500.
It's 500. It's not. Yeah. It's not the actual 800 that's showing on my screen. Okay, well that makes their job a little bit harder then.
Yeah, it does.
So that means they're going to need to preserve that bonus, as you said, to get that 500 bonus. It's definitely possible with the damage and the health hybrid scoring system, but it comes down to what NB wants to do too. Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Spitter for this first hit from NB. Taking a look at it here, I don't know if do you go for damage or a kill here, Dragon?
Well, for NV, they have many options. I mean, if they get the death charge, they can end it, but it's quite a risk even for them. If I was NV, I'd just say go for damage, because they don't need to risk too much trying to do the Hail Mary all tactics.
Exactly. I mean, if they get that death charge, it obviously clinches it, but if you knock down the bonus below 500, I would rather go for that. I'm looking at where NV want to set up here. The Smoker is going to be behind some rubble on the left-hand side of that truck. Jockey's up top, Charger, Spitter also up top, on top of the bridge. Absolutely stunning game coming out here from these two teams. Pretty much all the hype has delivered so far. And OFU are taking their time, clearing with their pistols here, knocking down a wave of common, and they are going to try to do their best impersonation of NV here. They've got that sniper in the back, in the hands of Yuri, I should say. And now they're going to keep clearing it out, but they're going to have to take this choke sooner or later.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why they're doing this. I mean, are there less
Does the Horde stop?
Yeah, it must have. It must be like a choke point thing. I mean, sorry, like a checkpoint.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so... But wait, now they're moving forward and starting again. Couple commons. We have the hit coming in from NV. That would be absolutely... That would be absolutely hilarious.
Are OFU going to do that for the entire length of the bridge?
That would be absolutely hilarious if that actually happens. I mean, Charger's coming in, going in, trying to hit Ellis. Gonna get double cap lands, and that's a Death Jockey!
Oh, that's going to be the game.
That's the game. Jukebox is dead. Death Jockey has gone out. And so that means, as of that, I do believe, actually they're going to get Ellis back up here. Charger goes in, tries to take it, not going to land. Looking at the bonus, it's still a 577 bonus, so we can't quite call it yet. But that Death Jockey right there onto the NV member Jukebox from his teammates.
It is. No, 575 isn't enough because the distance, we need a max distance of 580, so...
That's it. So that means NV defend their title and win their second Equilibrium Cup in a row, winning Equilibrium number 2 when they beat Wombologist, and now Equilibrium Cup number 3 over Team OFU. An outstanding tournament, outstanding match. We have a Hunter going in there right there. You have the Charger trying to go in as well. Jockey is gonna, actually that Charger gets a double charge, and they're going for the tri-cap to end it in style. Hunter is, that's it, that's the tri-cap. And Team NV has won your tournament, Dragon, there you go.
Well, I mean, a huge congratulations to Envy. I mean, they keep their impressive run going yet again. Commiserations to OFU. I believe they really had a chance to actually give them a fright and challenge them, because they were doing that in scrims from the time to time. So it wasn't like OFU never had a chance. And they, they sort of justified their position in the grand finals because, of course, they finished second in the tables and they defeated Team France in a really close affair. Only by like a difference of 30 points in the semi-finals. But, I mean, as we know from watching NV so many times in recent past, they've got the survivor strength, they've got the SI strength, they always seem to maximize their tanks to great effect. And, that's the result of them being on the top of their game for like the past 3 or 4 years within their community and then bringing it to the international stage. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, that's pretty much the benchmark for all teams right now should be, trying to aim towards, at least from a teamwork perspective.
Exactly. NV is definitely the benchmark for top play at this point in time across the world. And obviously, on an international field there, having to go through now 2 international fields in both Equilibrium Cups and not losing a match is insane. They win their second grand finals for EQ in a row. They are still undefeated in the really big Summer Pro Mod tournament, as I mentioned before, for the North American scene. They're running around, entering all these tournaments, and playing at the highest level I think I've ever seen, and that was spectacular. And but it was definitely a game that lived up to the hype. They could have lost it there. Like, OFU's SI did a pretty damn good job holding NV down, except for the second chapter, obviously, with that one tank. But I think actually the story of the game, usually the story of the game for NV is their survivor play, but I think the story of the game is NV's SI play through this game here, is showing that they are not just a survivor side team. SI can be just as strong, just as pretty much coordinated, just as well put together, just as smart, most importantly. So they definitely deserve everything they have coming to them. They definitely deserve all the wins that they've been able to keep, and an outstanding way to end the Equilibrium Cup 3, I'd say, Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually witnessed an all-Asian game before, so that was quite an interesting little concept to watch for the grand final of the EQ Cup, certain. And, I mean, there was 1 or 2 little things regarding ping, for the Korean players, but I don't think that was like the thing sort of decided it, to be honest. I mean, both teams sort of match each other evenly throughout all maps. It was just pretty much map 2 that was the decider. It was the distance plus the bonus, which caused the difference of like 800 points or so in the end. So that's, if it all came down to one map, that's basically how close the game was. But that one map was what caused the biggest points difference.
Yeah, I mean, that caused the 800-point disparity or something like that there, and that was, as you just said, pretty much the same score at the end of the game. I mean, MV got a little bit further to that tank as well to add on, but I mean, when it comes down to one map, you gotta think back at exactly how smart Flyby's tank was in the second chapter to get that separation and that kill. Screw going for the wipe, we're gonna get the kill, we're gonna win the chapter, and then they get the wipe further on after they draw it out. And, I mean, yeah, obviously, it was unfortunate for Team OFU that they had to get a sub there. I don't know if the game would have been any different had NT played. It might have been, but at the same point in time, stuff happens, and they put their best foot forward. They tried to do it. And you know what? Team OFU, I think... what exactly was their record coming in from the rest of the tournament?
Well, they actually lost only one match, which was to NV, but they lost on their home Korean server to NV in the second round. And actually, because of that, they decided, okay, they've beaten us on the away server. We don't need to bother playing on NV's home Tokyo server. So they just left it at that. For every other time, though, I think overall they pretty much won all their other matches. And I really wish I could have seen the semi-final between them and Team France, because that match to be decided by 30 points must have been pretty epic to watch. Unfortunately, I was at work at the time, so yeah, of course.
The game wasn't streamed. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean that game wasn't streamed, and I was disappointed because I know it'd been hyped up, but again, an amazing game to end the EQ Cup number 3 right there, and we have to give a big thank you to Ninja, who decided to actually get a little bit of sleep and then stay up, because Ninja, it is currently, I believe, 5:40 a.m. his time, so he stayed up to cast or stream this game for us. I got up way early after casting the Apollyon versus Wolfpack game yesterday, so Dragon, pleasure is ours, always happy to help out with these kind of tournaments, and I honestly couldn't have asked for a better finish than what we just saw, so thank you definitely for providing that. Do you have any last words, my friend?
Yeah, of course, I'd like to sort of say the same as you did. A massive thank you to, for both of you. You did a major job sort of waking up early and being here to provide a spectacle for the viewers and the community. So I know I kind of did the same thing as well, waking up really early for the grand final of the second cup. So I know what it's like, but yeah. I'm massively grateful to both of you for that, so thank you very much. Shout outs obviously to Visor, who made the EQ 2.1 config and for providing all the support during the tournament as well with all the technical stuff. Couldn't have done it without him. Obviously thanks to Jazzy and Battle, who were there at the beginning of the development of the EQ config, and if Jazzy was still around and seeing what was going on now, I'm sure he'd be pretty impressed with what has been going on since his absence from the community, although he's probably too busy stuffing himself with Dota 2 and God knows what else. And obviously a massive shout out to other people who have helped, such as Astupi, of course, who helped a lot with the custom campaigns that were featured in the tournament. He saved our bacon quite a bit in that regard. And also a massive shout out and thank you to all those who helped cast and stream, such as Deck, I know for one, was one who featured quite a lot for providing streams for the Cup, as was Dana and History Can, others being mentioned as well. You know who you are, so thank you there as well. And obviously another shout out to, obviously for the community's sake, to L4D Nation, L2L, A4D, H2K, all the usual subgroups and sub-communities that we have here. Keep them coming, because I'm sure there's still some good stuff to come from the community. I've heard about, is it CCT3 that Astupi's planning next?
I do believe so. I know Jacob and Astupi are putting their collective heads together for that. I believe they might be getting help a little bit by NF and Xeon with their remake of the maps that are supposed to be coming out, so that's definitely something to look forward in the future. I don't know if my involvement's going to be really big on that or not. I really have absolutely no idea at this point. But yeah, and then we also have the conclusion of RBT, of course, happening on the North American side of things. And yeah, we have a lot planned for the future here, Dragon. It's going to be very, very nice for pretty much the international competitive community, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually probably the biggest run in terms of tournaments that I've seen in a long, long time, probably ever. I don't honestly remember seeing this many tournaments come and go in succession like this, so it's quite a good run to be having. I think I'm not sure if I would say it's like the best period in terms of team and player quality. Of course, NV are obviously pretty top notch at the moment, but in terms of tournaments and just the amount of content that we're getting now is unmatched compared to what we've seen in history. So that's quite a huge positive to draw from, and we just hope that it keep on going.
I definitely think it will, and I know with the amount of people who put their time into this game, who really dedicate themselves, Ninja obviously being a big one as well, offering his services at 3 hours before my time. I thought I was getting up early, but define getting up when it's still probably pitch black out where Ninja was, and I know he's probably really tired at this point, so pretty much it's people like him, people like you, Dragon Out, so you put your effort into this community that really make it thrive, and obviously for the viewers to tuning in and watching right there, and obviously, I'll say it again, and to end it on the highest note I think I could possibly think of, 11 streamers and casters in one game in four different languages.
Yeah, that's got to be a record, surely. I mean, we had 4 different streams. We had 2 English ones, 1 Chinese and 1 Japanese stream.
Yeah, I can't even. And I mean, I think it was 3 different streamings. No, it was 3 Twitch and then 1. I forget what the other guy was using, but I know literally 3 different languages on 4 streams with at least 11 or 12 casters / streamers, and that is incredible. That is definitely the most coverage we've ever seen of a game ever, and obviously this is going to go down for the record books here, Dragon, so I think we did pretty good for ourselves.
Well, I think we did spectacularly well. I'm certainly pleased for one. And you know what? I hope this thing keeps on going where we sort of encourage more of a more communication and more sort of broadening of awareness in the international scene, because I mean, that was the first time that I've seen, an all-Asian affair, and we just saw by there being a Chinese and Japanese stream that there's a lot of attention going on there. So, maybe it just sort of helps join forces a bit more, I think, and promote more of an international, scene and more of a competition for international play.
I can sum it up, I think, best saying it like this. Grand final game between two Asian teams, one Chinese stream, one Japanese stream, English stream with a streamer from Singapore with two Australian casters, and then one North American streamer on another channel with one North American caster and a cup admin plus shoutcaster from the UK. That's the international thing we just saw. That's literally what we just saw. So you cannot get any more diversified than that, I don't believe. And incredible finish for the tournament. So if you don't have anything else to say there, Dragon, I would like to say to the viewers, thank you definitely. Thank you, Ninja, for volunteering your time to do this. And thank everybody who supports competitive Left 4 Dead in the international scene. Everybody for watching, definitely. Check out Left 4 Dead Nation. Check out all the sources for competitive Left 4 Dead 2. And we will probably have more matches for you guys later in the day from a different variety and sorts of streamers all around pretty much international communities to cover the rest of the really big summer Pro Mod tournament games that are happening today as well. And check out Stupid Watch Left 4 Dead, obviously, for all of your competitive Left 4 Dead streaming needs. And thank you very much, Dragon, for allowing me to cast this grand finals with you.
It was an absolute pleasure, as always. And we'll be hoping to cast even more amazing and epic games in the near future, of course.
Definitely. So, I don't know if Ninja has any other words to say, but if you do, the floor is yours, my good sir. If he doesn't, then I guess we can do the sign-off, because I probably think he's probably tired. He's probably about ready to pass out at his computer. So, thank everybody for watching. That was an amazing game we just saw, and have a great either rest of the day, because, I mean, it's from all around the world, so either a great rest of the morning, rest of the day, rest of the evening, or have a good night. So, thank you very much for watching.
Good day, everyone. See you later.